Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel, glad to have you here. Several days ago I dropped a video about Postiz installation on Dokploy, but unfortunately I had to release an unfinished version due to a planned trip. I wanted to release the final part as soon as I got back, but sadly I was very busy at work and had to handle a lot of different things outside working hours as well. So it took me a while to get back to Postiz on Dokploy topic, play around with it more, and finally come up with a proper working version of the setup. The good news is that I was able to understand, at least to a certain degree, how everything works. Just a few fuck-ups, several reinstallations, and now I'm able to share with you the final and the cleanest version of the configuration I've managed to get so far. I pushed my configuration as well as few installation and setup tips to GitHub repository. The link will be provided in the description to this video. So if you would like to jump straight into it, feel free to do so. Okay, let's get into it. The first thing I would highly recommend is getting your own custom domain if you don't already have one. This thing is not that expensive and you can get one around $7 to $10 per year. To make it work with our setup, we'll be using Cloudflared service to create a tunnel from Cloudflare to our server. This means that your domain has to be onboarded into the Cloudflare. If you bought your domain from some other provider, don't worry, you will still be able to use it. You will just need to add it to your Cloudflare account. The process is very easy. Just go to your Cloudflare account, go to domains, overview, and here you will have a button add domain. After clicking this button, you will have three options. Obviously, we are interested in first two if you have domain registered at another provider. So you can either connect a domain or transfer a domain. Connect domain means the domain will stay with your domain register. You would just need to adjust the name servers in the control panel there to proxy traffic through the Cloudflare. The whole setup process takes around 15 minutes, but the name server changes might take up to 24 hours. Transfer domain lets you completely move from your current domain register to Cloudflare. Cloudflare will be fully responsible for your domain from that point, and as a result you will start paying Cloudflare instead of your current domain register. This option takes much more time, but I still recommend you look into it because usually in the long term this might be cheaper. I was talking a lot about Cloudflare in my videos, and I believe it still might not be completely clear for some people what Cloudflare actually is. In simple words, it is a service that caches your web resources and provides additional layer of security. Imagine you like to drink, I don't know, Dr. Pepper, but it's only available in one store on the other side of your city. And every time you would like to get one, you need to spend a lot of time. So Cloudflare in this case would be kind of like a network of stores with strict face control operating in different parts of your city, including one right next to your home. And you can simply ask them to bring Dr. Pepper there, making it easier and faster for you and everyone else to get it. Okay, assuming you already have your domain available in Cloudflare, the next step would be creating a tunnel. The main idea here is that whenever somebody visits your domain, including of course yourself, Cloudflare will reroute them to your server. So to create this tunnel, we would need to dig it from both sides. First one, let's start from the Cloudflare side. In Cloudflare dashboard, go to Zero Trust or Networking, and here go to the Networks, Connectors, and basically click Create New Tunnel. Here you would need, of course, to select Cloudflare, and you just need to provide some service name. Click Save Tunnel. And this is the page where you can get your generated token. You cannot see fully token here, but you can kind of see part of it. So it doesn't matter you can select either of the systems. So basically just copy one of those things and paste it somewhere, and then just cut the token part. We would need it later. From the Dokploy side, in your project, you need to add Cloudflared service. And here's very important note. I had a lot of troubles adding services here using the template approach, especially if you messed up them a couple of times previously and trying to re-add them. Sometimes they somehow get cached, and if the failed version gets cached, no matter what I did afterwards, it kept failing, even after deletion. So my general recommendation would be go with compose instead. You can copy config from the template and then paste it as a raw text into the compose. And this approach always worked for me without any issues. I've spent a lot of time trying to figure out why my Cloudflare service added from the template was not working until I deleted it and created a new one with a different name using compose. Okay, just do this with compose. Go to create service, compose, add a name and app name if you don't like the auto-generated one, and then click button create. You will end up seeing something like this, and to be able to add the configuration, you just need to go to raw and just paste the configuration here. This Cloudflare configuration I'm using is almost identical to the one the template provides you. The only thing I've added is the container name. Before saving, make sure you go to environment and add this Cloudflare Tunnel token there as a variable, and assign token that was generated by the Cloudflare, the one I previously asked you to copy. Click save, deploy, and that's it. Okay, now since we don't really want to use the entire custom domain to access Postiz, but just subdomain part of it, something like postiz.yourdomain.whatever. And there are a couple of steps that has to be done on Cloudflare side. Firstly, in Cloudflare, go to domains, select one that you are using, and here you need to go to the SSL TLS overview. Here, click configure and make sure the full strict or full is selected. After that, we need to get back to the zero trust network connectors and select your tunnel. Here in your tunnel configuration, you need to go to the published application roads. And this is the place where you can define subdomains. So click add a published application road and provide the next configuration. So subdomain, whatever you would like to choose. My one is Postiz. Here you need to select your domain you are going to use. Here, important, you need to select HTTPS, and this is what you need to use for your URL. Also, make sure to go to the additional settings, TLS part, and turn on the no TLS verify. You may ask, why are we using this exact port 443? Remember when we were installing Dokploy, and before actually installing it, we had to make sure that ports 80, 443, and 3000 are not occupied by any other processes. Port 3000 is basically one where our Dokploy web interface is running, and two other ports basically used by Traefik, one for the HTTP request and another one for the HTTPS. What is Traefik? Traefik is a reverse proxy working on our site. In simple words, it's just a Traefik director that redirects requests to the necessary services within the Dokploy. Meaning that whenever you want to use different service with different subdomain name in your published route configuration, you will always use the local host URL with either 80 or 443 port, depending on the type of the request. So back to the configuration of our application route, make sure you click save button. Okay, and the last step left is actually to deploy Postiz and do quick domain setup for the deployed service. Go back to your Dokploy project and add the Postiz. Again, let's not use the template approach. but go with compose instead, especially considering that Postiz template there is super outdated, and this is the reason why it's not working out of the box, simply because it's missing the temporal configuration. So add new service as a compose, go to raw, and paste the configuration I have provided you in the GitHub repository. Here's how the repository looks like if you are not familiar with the GitHub, and this is the README part. I tried to provide some general tips and guides about the installation of Postiz on Dokploy, and yep, some tips about setting up the custom domain. So what you need to get is just go select the Docker compose YAML here, and copy raw file and paste it here in the provider tab for your Postiz compose. Now go to the environment tab and add environmental variables. Again, to make it a little bit easier, I described all of them here, so just take a look and make sure you have all of them created. And for the last step, we're still missing the Postiz domain configuration inside the Dokploy. So go to the domains tab and click add domain, and this is what the configuration you should have. If you were using my configuration file, you will have the same service names here. So select Postiz here, provide the subdomain and domain you would like to use, basically the one that you were creating in the Cloudflare. Make sure you have port 5000 here, turn on the HTTPS, and for the certificate provider, just select Let's Encrypt. After that, click deploy and just give it 5 minutes, and then you can try to access your Postiz dashboard via your configured domain. And the very last step, just small hint, make sure that you disable registration after you created your account so nobody else can register their accounts. So just click save and click deploy or reload, and after a couple of minutes it should be done. So here we go. When everything is up and running, you can now access Postiz dashboard without any issues. Before finishing this video, I would really like to thank everyone for the nice words in the comments, support, and the feedback. This really means a lot to me and honestly keeps me really excited to continue doing this. Please continue share your ideas. I'm always happy to try new things and share them with you. Meanwhile, I'm trying to improve my time management, and hopefully soon I will find a proper way to bring new content to you more often. Also, I think it would be a good idea to create a community for us where we can help each other in a bit more convenient way. I found it a bit tricky to do this in the comment section. Let me know what do you think about it. If this video was somehow helpful, please don't forget to leave a like and comment. Also consider subscribing so you don't miss new videos. And as usually, hope to see you in the next one. Take care.